Hello, I'm Adrienne Turner, and I am the trainer for the Tri-County Community Network. We're really excited today to bring to you some special guests who are also members of TCN, and we're going to be sharing with you some awesome services that they offer in order to make your nonprofit even more excellent than it already is. So today, as our guests, we have Ruth Sella, and then we also have joining Ruth is Ron Gowell, and they are both members of RSVP, which is an organization that is also a TCN member. So without further ado, I am going to ask Ruth to introduce herself and tell us about her role at RSVP.
Hi, Adrienne, thank you so much for letting Ron and I do this shoot with you today. I'm Ruth Sella, and I am the program manager for RSVP's Volunteer Executive Consultants Program, the VEC program for short. And we are one of the volunteer activities that RSVP coordinates. What we do primarily is we work with small to mid-sized nonprofit organizations to assist their staff and their boards with their various capacity building needs. And I have a group of about 50-some volunteers. Most of them are retired from having leadership positions in business and industry, or they may have been in academia or run their own businesses. And they now, at this point in their lives, want to give back, and they're volunteering their expertise and their time to assist smaller nonprofits so that the nonprofits can do what they do much better.
Thank you so much, Ruth. And you did mention that they have various different expertise. And as I was reviewing some information on your website, as well as having conversations with you, I learned that there's a variety of skills that they possess. Would you mind sharing just a few of those? One I remember off the top of my head was like human resources.
Yes. We have people, obviously, with personnel and human resources skills. We also have a number of people with skills in management areas. They can do strategic and business plans. I have many with strong financial management backgrounds. I have a number with technological expertise. Any kind of an area, marketing, advertising, public relations, particularly of interest for small and mid-sized nonprofits is fundraising.
Yes.
Many smaller nonprofits need help, particularly with that. Board development and governance. So they have a whole wide range of skills that they have acquired during their careers in business, but they now can translate and use them with the nonprofit sector.
I think that is so fantastic. What VEC is to me, as I'm growing and learning more about supporting nonprofits, is a hidden jewel, because these services that you provide are absolutely critical for some organizations that might be struggling or need just a little bit more support so they can do what they do. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Adrienne, before you move on to Ron, too, we are really a jewel, because I just want to add that my wonderful volunteers offer all of their services free of charge. So it's a win-win for everybody, the volunteers as well as the nonprofits that come to work with us.
Thank you so much for adding that. That certainly is a tremendous benefit to have these services available for free. So, Ron, so glad to meet you.
Glad to meet you.
So please.
And I'm very familiar with TCN, by the way, so it's not like we're strangers.
That's right. That's right. So, Ron, please share with us your title and then your role with VEC.
Well, everybody here works for Ruth, as we all know. So, but in addition to working for Ruth, okay, as one of the lead consultants, and I've been involved with VEC now for, I guess, about 7-8 years. But I also play a dual role. I'm currently, as Ruth mentioned earlier, the president of the board of directors for RSVP, which is the umbrella organization for VEC. One of the things I like to say and emphasize and reemphasize actually what Ruth said is the VEC organization, and again, it's an acronym for Volunteer Executive Consultants, has evolved over time. We're now over 30 years, I guess, old. RSVP is 43 years old. The BEC program, I think, is over 30 now. We've evolved from a couple of specific skills that were needed by nonprofits to now just about an A to Z cafeteria listing in terms of what we can provide in services. Everything from board development to fundraising and in between.
Thank you. Would either of you like to share about the process? So if someone says, this BEC program sounds completely like what I need, how do they get started? What's that process like?
We operate just like a small consulting agency would operate. There's a formal process of application. They need to fill out an application form, and that comes to me as the program manager. I review it and make sure that it's complete, and then I will contact some of my volunteers to see who would have interest in working on this particular project or have expertise in working on what the nonprofit is asking us to assist them with. Once we find a person, a volunteer who's willing to take on the project, we do an initial assessment. And generally it's just one volunteer that does that. They work from the application and they talk further about exactly how we can work with the nonprofit, what they're expecting, what their needs are, and how we can help them. And once the volunteer then comes back to me, tells me, yes, I think we can assist them, this project's a go, I need people with XYZ skills that can work on this project with me. Then we assemble a team of consultants. We have a team lead, and we generally have 2 to 3 team members that will work on any project. Most of our projects last between 3 and 6 months. We try to get in and get out and accomplish what we want to do, because we find, you know, if it goes on too long, the volunteers lose interest and the nonprofit is for some reason maybe not being responsive to, you know, to working with us. So we try to go in and out, get done what we have to do. We prepare a final report for the nonprofit that the nonprofit signs off on when we feel that the project is complete. And then around 6 weeks after we've completed the project, I end up interviewing the nonprofit executive director or board chair and ask, you know, how do we do? Because we're constantly evaluating our services so that we can improve and enhance what we're doing.
Well, that's
so it's a very formal process.
And if I may add something, Andrea, if I may, to what you said, is our clients are startups to ones that have been around for 30, 40 years. They go from, you know, daycare centers to zoos to hospitals and everything in between.
So, Ron, would you share with us maybe your experience with working with one organization? And you don't have to use the client name, but talk about that experience for yourself and then for the client.
Yeah, that's important you said that, Andrea, because we do protect the privacy of the nonprofits, okay, because of various reasons, okay? And one of the, there's a couple of projects that I'm working on right now, but there's one that's kind of near and dear to my heart right at this point in time because of the people involved. The clients are people who are, it's a hospice organization.
Okay.
Okay, and when you think about just what I just said, it's tough. Yeah. It's tough because people, families, the employees involved, but with, you know, the process that the hospice is involved with, okay, generates not only an emotional attachment at times, but also the need to make sure it is done in the right way, at the right time, with the right people. And that's part of how we look at a project. Personally, how, you know, I look at a project. We want to have a start and have an end. Now, sometimes our projects are continuing because there may be more than one phase or one particular requirement that a nonprofit would need. But we don't try to do everything at once. We try to help them prioritize when there is more than one need so that they can have satisfaction in achieving their goals, at the same time being able to say to the people who are involved, I have been able to accomplish something that's great for the organization.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, Ruth, you mentioned that one of the areas that VEC supports individuals and RSVP does, is fundraising. And I noticed that one of your fall fundraising workshops was sold out. So congratulations. It appears that not only are you providing these consulting services, but also training and workshops to help these organizations. Would you share just a little bit about some of the training services that you offer?
Yes, we actually offer 6 workshops each year, and they are free of charge to all of our clients, former and current, and they're offered here at RSVP's offices. We have a very nice training center room set up. We have 2 more that will be coming part of our fall series. We have one on October the 18th, which is going to be on grant research and writing. And if anyone is interested in that one is almost booked to capacity. We generally, we had close to 40 people for the last one, and that's about as many as we can hold in our room. So that one is coming up on October 18th. And then we have one November 15th, which will be marketing, branding, a recipe for success is what they're entitling it. And we'll do all aspects of marketing, 4 Ps, all the way to the point of touching on some social media. So, and then we will have 3 more in the spring. And of course, our signature workshop that we offer every April is our Meet the Funders, where we invite foundation heads to come and sit on a panel, and they do presentations, but then we also open it up to representatives of nonprofits who come and want to ask questions on how they can get funding and how they can file applications with these particular funders. And that's always very, very well attended. And that this year, we're very fortunate because RSVP has just gotten a bronze corporate sponsor, Hyatt House in Philadelphia, King of Prussia, and they are very generously providing the meeting space as well as the technology setup and the continental breakfast for this signature event for VEC. And it's going to be Friday, April 28th, but we'll be doing a lot more promotion of it. And it'll be at the Hyatt House in King of Prussia.
Thank you so very much. I'm super excited. I would love to attend the marketing workshop, and we will be sharing that information through TCN.
Feel free to attend.
And Adrian, all of the information about our workshops is always available on the RSVP website. When you go to the RSVP website, it's rsvpmc.org, and then just hit the link for nonprofit consulting, and all of our upcoming workshops, information about them, about registration, what the content is, will appear there, and you can, learn that, and then you go to Eventbrite and register.
Thank you so much. So as we close, I just want to give you, Ron, an opportunity to share anything that you would like as the president of the board for RSVP about your team members there, because I found them to be a wonderful group of individuals to work with, and what you might want to add as we close about the organization.
Andrea, thank you for that comment, because it is a great team of energized, positive thinking people who want to help volunteers, and everybody here is a volunteer. And that's what I'd like to close with, if I may. We are still and always will be looking for volunteers to help us. If you have an inkling of wanting to be involved, for instance, in a consulting role, the VEC program is a great opportunity to be able to utilize your expertise, and even some people who have expertise that they've never utilized that they now like to utilize. There are some people who are great financially who've never really had a job in accounting. Those kinds of skills, those kinds of volunteer opportunities are what we're looking for. So I would ask anybody who is looking at this tape or is in the future or currently, please look us up, because in addition to providing a service, we always look for people who can help us help others.
Fantastic. Well, Ruth and Ron, thank you so much. On behalf of Holly Parker, who's the Executive Director of the Tri-County Community Network, we certainly appreciate your time and all the work that you're doing to support organizations that enhance our communities. Have a great day.
Thank you, Adrian.
Thanks, Adrian.
Okay, bye.